Hey! Stop. Okay, so get. Go to your pillow. Go. Sorry. Dog aggro. What did I just say? Stop. Alright, so anyway, I own two large German Shepherds. And they like to sound like evil, sinister beasts in the background of my recording, so I'm really sorry about that if you hear them. So I thought I would do another tutorial. My last one I did was about eyes, so I thought this one could be about mouth. I actually got these ready. So the way that I've done eyes has kind of evolved over the last 5 years. I used to do them kind of like this, and I see this a lot. Basically, where you outline the entire eye, or not the eye, the lip, and it looks very clubby. I have a picture for what I mean here too. It looks very much like this, and that's not bad. It's not bad at all. But as you can see, there's a lot of different ways that a mouth can be portrayed here. So I like to try a couple different things. The way that I do them right now is a bit more minimalistic. It's kind of basically, it's quite literally about like 5 lines, and that's it. Nothing super there, nothing obtrusive, and this is kind of it. And the one thing I really like about this is that you can pretty much do it from any angle, and it's so easy to do. Let's see, so probably help if I actually had a color on. Alright, so you literally quite do it like this. And that's really it. If you get into coloring, you can do a lot more with this. You can like color it, put lipstick on. Right here, just to be clear, this is a very girly mouth. I'm just gonna put that here. This is a girly mouth. You can keep your jokes to yourself. Thank you. When I do a male mouth, I tend to just do it like this. And leave it. And the only really big difference is that I'm not putting that there. That's it. That's the only big difference. Because I like to think that women have a lot more poofy mouths. They basically stand out a lot more, where males don't have. Don't I mean? Let me take that back. They do have it, but it's not in spades like with what women do, or with. I shouldn't say that. That's not socially correct right now. Some people have pronounced features that allow them to have very full mouths, and some people do not. There, I'm politically correct now. I guess I should change this now, since I'm being socially correct. Poofy mouth. Poofy. I can't even spell poofy. Alright, poofy. So, this is kind of what it looks like from the front, and the one thing I really like is that you can pretty much do it from any angle, and it's so adaptable. So when you do it from the side, what you're going to do is right here, this part, you're just going to change the angles just ever so slightly. So here's one mouth when I'm looking at it from a side. So see, notice how this one is longer. This line is a lot more bolder, and that one is just a small dot, right? And then when you go to do the under part right here, you basically add in the detail of this lip. And same thing right here. I'm going to make it look, and that makes it look like it's from the side. Also makes it look like this person has a really big lip. There, we'll fix that. There. And same thing for him. Them. Not him. Them. I mean, usually when I do more masculine features, I don't put like so much emphasis on the lower lip. And a lot of times it's going to be a waste of time anyway, because let's say for example that I do have someone of the male gender with a super full mouth. We'll run that. So here we are, super full mouth. His mouth is gorgeous. It's from those romance novels that we constantly read, where his full mouth came and claimed her lips, and she got all woozy and stupid afterwards. Alright, so let's say that. Well, guess what? Mofo got a beard. And so it doesn't matter. And usually it goes all the way down, and I would know. I live with somebody with a beard. You know, and so all this is kind of wasted because it gets covered up. But the really nice thing is that you can use, I mean, you can go study different facial hair and stuff like that. But the really nice thing is that whenever you decide to do a mouth on a guy, you pretty much know where the beard is going to start and end and things like that. So, for example, unless you're one of those freaky, hairy people and it's just everywhere. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make fun of you. You know, here's your guys with your goatee. If you are going to do facial hair, I mean, I know this is a lip tutorial and I'm getting sidetracked a little bit, but if you do facial features for a masculine person that has a lot of facial hair, it's usually really important to know two things. One, where the mouth is, and that is a terrible start. What am I doing? It's really important to know where the mouth starts. It's also really important to know where the jawline is, and you need to understand that jawline too. So, for example, if this person has a beard and they have a really big, thick, full beard, then it makes sense for you to follow that all along the side of the jawline, you know, like so. It's also really important. So, because you need to follow the face. Now, granted, there are some people that can I'm not picking on anybody I know, but I'm totally picking on somebody I know. There are some people that can do a goatee, right? They can do the goatee, and that's all they can grow. Genetics, whatever, nature happened, and they can't grow the full beard. But if they try, it looks raggedy ass like that. So, again, so beards usually go around the corner of the lip, things like that. I actually have a drawing I need to do for somebody later, and they've got this handlebar mustache. It's hysterical. I have to post it later. What? Timmy Day fell down the well? Anyway, his character has that typical porn handlebar mustache, and he said it's really prominent, so so here we go. Anyway, so I got sidetracked by talking about beards. I'm really sorry. Right, anyway, so like I said, this is pretty flexible. You can move it from any angle, and it will easily go with you. I find doing the lip outline style, I guess that's what I can call that, the lip outline style, is a little less forgiving because you can try it like this. I'm still doing my little thing here. You can try it like that, and it's there. It looks okay, but it just, I don't know. It makes coloring for me a lot harder. I can't speak for all people. Some people can do the lip outline, and it looks effing gorgeous. Top Cow is very well known for constantly doing the poofy lip outline style of, all their women with their slightly open mouths. Look here, we might as well do it all the way. They're really well good at that. But the only thing that really sucks is that this doesn't really transfer into the side profile very well. I'm doing this really quick, I'm sorry. Because it's side profile. And the really big important thing that you need to remember is when you do side profiles is that there is a very clear distinction between having a mouth and having duck face. Don't do duck face, please, for the love of God. And just keep in mind that usually the nose is, you can see where I've got my placements here. I probably should have explained that a little bit more. I just wanted to talk about lips. Can I just talk about your mouth, please? Thank you. If you do lips with eyes, keep in mind that, here, I'll just do a quick sketch. Say that you're doing a character. Wow, that's too big. I'll make that way smaller. Ignore my feral beast in the background. This looks like that one guy from Bleach with the really serpentine face. There we go. Just to make it better. So let's say you have a character and they've got a nose, obviously, and you got to do their mouth. A lip, a normal lip, will usually end in the middle of wherever each eye is. So it's going to start here, right under the nose, and then it's going to end right here. Um, Now you do have people with small mouths. You do have people with much larger mouths that can go all the way out there. They're kind of freaky and scary looking people. I've met them. They're really terrifying. Um, at least from an artistic standpoint. That's right. Guard the house. So usually, like I said, the ends of the lips usually end right there, right in the middle of each eye. So I tend to save drawing lips on a face until after I know where my eye placement is. Just makes my life a lot easier. This face is really scrunched, by the way. They're not normally like that. Anyway, so you normally, if you draw like a side profile face like that, ooh, that's not good. Maybe I should actually. So when you draw a side profile, this is really crappy drawing, by the way. Don't judge me. When you draw a side profile like this, it's the same thing, same difference. It's gonna end pretty much right here. So his mouth is a little big. I'm saying it because of the jaw and the nose. So I would just tidy that up a little bit. And you'll notice that on the edges of the lips, what I tend to do is I kind of start lightly and I end bold. If you get into like realistic drawing, what you're gonna usually end up doing is, you'll talk to your art teacher and she'll have, and I say she, all my art teachers have been female, so I'm sorry if I'm applying past experiences to unfair situations. And a lot of times what they'll have you do is, they'll have you obviously do the shading, and the top lip is darker because it's, slightly tilted inwards, where the bottom lip isn't, and so you've got like this pretty little shading thing going on. But when you talk to them and they're talking about, the where the top and the bottom lip meet, is they always like, well, this needs to be darker because that's where less light is, and da 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 da. And it's true. I'm not saying that they're lying or anything. It's true, but this looks really weird. I mean, you can see where this is going. This is literally how I drew my first mouth, and I was like, what the hell am I drawing? It looks so weird. But a lot of times what you can do is you can make this up with shading, like all the time. Shading's your best friend. Shading, coloring. I'm just gonna zoom in on this mouth, and you can make those things a lot more obvious. We're gonna pretend like this is. So what you're seeing me do here when it comes to shading the mouth, you can do that on a more masculine character. It's just going to make them look a lot more effeminate. Normally what I do is I don't do it this pronounced, like I'm actually being really bold with this. And a little bit to show where the bottom lip is. And then I go back and make that a lot more obvious. There. I don't know, it makes it look better to me, and then I can usually soften it up with some smearing. I do this with my real life drawings too. Actually, I had a teacher, and she was like, "You Photoshop your models too much," and I was like, "But they all look that beautiful to me." And she's like, "Stop it." So mean. Alright, so anyway, this person obviously has a very poofy mouth. But again, so when you guys are doing lips from a profile, just make sure that they don't go past the nose. When they go past the nose, that's just too weird. Typically, when you guys draw faces, they're gonna look a lot like this. You're gonna have your forehead, and your nose will be right here, nose, and then it's gonna kind of go down after that. And that's typically how they go. I mean, you can probably find an art style that will work better for you, and that's totally fine. So I do have some examples here of different ways to do lips. So we'll start with the oldest one I did. This is the one where I was talking about in regards to, like, I didn't bother getting too detailed. Like for him, I just did a single line, and then I did the lower part, and then I put in the beard. So that's going to look a lot like, pretty much like this. I mean, it's super easy. You don't have to get really detailed with that, especially when you have a beard. That's just silly. Here's another picture I did of a guy with a beard, and again, I just did the simple thing. As you can see, I didn't bother with the top detail, but I did with some minute shading there. Let's see. I'm gonna close him out. And here's a good example of what I was talking about in regards to it's important to know where the jawline is. This guy had a really big full goatee in the picture that he sent me. I think it's actually a bit more than this. But by knowing where the jawline was, I was able to basically fill it all in and make it look a lot better. Let's see. Here's another good example of the side profile I was talking about. So as you can see, oh no, you guys didn't want to see her. So as you guys see, again, the lips aren't extending past the tip of the nose, and they're staying pretty much in line with where the jawline is. So if you guys touch your mouth, that's pretty much the same, unless you've gotten some really poofy lips. Here's a good example of, this is an old work in progress, this drawing's done by now, of two side profiles. And if you guys ever do kissing characters or near kissing characters, yeah, this is really annoying sometimes. Especially when there's Abrax and they've got facial tattoos that go everywhere. Thanks man. But you can see a little bit extra detail of what I didn't talk about here, because her mouth is slightly open, and keep in mind that lips are they are poofy. It doesn't matter who they're on; their lips are always poofy. And when they're partly open like that, you have to remember that they're still like a round object. They still are circular-ish. I know I'm using really technical terms. You guys are so patient with me. So, in here, I would do it like this, like so. And I will erase some of this to not make it look like crap. But here, I mean, you can see that it's slightly open. They're kind of duck facing, not quite. And that's really all it takes, just to make it look like that. Let me see what else. That's kind of... Nope, that's it. That's all I've got. That was my little lip tutorial. Remember, the 5 little lines are your friend. In regards to doing side profiles and adding details and stuff like that, that's just going to take some practice. You're going to have to work on it. But I'm telling you, this right here is my best friend. I love it. It works all the time. It's super easy to do. So, good luck.